geometry, we're going to be reflecting a triangle across different lines and points on the coordinate plane. So we're going to be using points now. And we're going to do y, v, w. So y to v to w, this triangle right here. And I've tried to color code it so you could follow what I'm doing. So the first thing I want to do is reflect it across the x-axis. So I made my x-axis blue. Remember that we want to go perpendicular and we want to go the same distance. So if my first point here, this y, is the point -2, 4, if I reflect it perpendicular, that means I'm going straight down, right? And then if I was 4 above, I'm now 4 below. So this point is now at -2, -4. -2, -4. And if I move this point V, it was at -2, 1, I go straight down. It would stay at -2 and it would go to -1. And likewise, if I move this point 1, 1, it would go straight down and it would go to 1, -1. So in all cases, my first coordinate, how far I am front and back, stayed the same, and the second coordinate, the y, changed from a +4 to a -4, a +1 to a -1, a +1 to a -1. Then I can draw my triangle in here. Let me grab a segment and we'll put it in blue. And here is my new triangle that's been reflected across the x-axis. So let's do another one. This time we're going to take the same triangle and we're going to reflect it across the y-axis. And so to do this, I need to move horizontally, which would be 90 degrees across here. So if I'm at the point -2, -4, and I move horizontal across here, 2 units takes me to the line, so I go 2 units to the other side, and I am now at +2, +4. My V, it was 2 units away, so now I'm going to go 2 units away the other way. And my W was 1 unit away, so I'm going to move it 1 unit away. And then I can sketch in my triangle again, and I'll use blue again. So here is my new triangle that's been reflected across the y-axis. Notice that whenever I was -2 for my x-coordinate, I'm now +2 for my x-coordinate. -2 went to +2, +1 went to -1. So now I'm changing my x-coordinate. So whenever I'm reflecting across the x-axis, I'm going to change my y-coordinate, and whenever I reflect across the y-axis, I change my x-coordinate. Next line I'm going to do is I'm going to reflect across this y equals x line. So all the points on y equals x would be 1 equals 1, 2 equals 2, 3 equals 3, 4 equals 4, 5 equals 5, -2 equals -2. So this beige line is my y equals x line. And so I want to reflect these across here. So if I'm going to go perpendicular would be moving, let's just put that in here, in this line here. Let me see if I can grab a line, and I'll make it purple. Okay, so the line that would be perpendicular to that would have a slope of -1. Right, the slope of this line is +1, so this would be a slope of 1 that's -1. That would be perpendicular. Okay, so if I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, forward 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 to get to this line, right? I went down 1, 2, 3, forward 1, 2, 3 to get to the line. To go to the exact same opposite that along a parallel line, I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3 and forward 1, 2, 3 and end up here. So this green point, if I can get to my green point now, there we go, is now moved. Since this went down 1, 2, 3, forward 1, 2, 3, I'm going to go to the other side 1, 2, 3, forward 1, 2, 3. So that put me right there. And if I put that line back, you can see they all line up. Okay. If I could do the same thing down here, there's my y equals perpendicular to that y equals x line. So I want to move, oops, I did not want to do that. Let me lock that sucker there. Lock in place. Okay, so I want to move that blue point, and it's going to come down 1, 2, forward 1 to get to the line. It's actually kind of down 1.5, forward 1.5, so I'm going to have to go the same thing on blue point. Come on, there we go. So down 1.5 to get here, and then down 1.5, down 1.5. See if I got that right where I put this line. Nope, not quite right. There we go. So if this is the point -2, 1, it's now the point 1, -2. If this is the point -2, 4, I'm now at 4, -2. And this point's on the line, so 1, 1 stays 1, 1. So what happened there? If I was at -2, 1, that went to the point 1, -2. Okay, and if I was at the point, was my other one, that my one up there was at -2, 4, that went to the point, I'm now straight, if I move this over back here, right, we went down, I'm now at 4, -2. 4, -2. So you can see there's a pattern here. They are switching places. So when you're on the y, reflecting across the y equals x line, you just swap the places. So -2, 1 becomes 1, -2, -2, 4 becomes 4, -2. Let's do another one. We're going to go this time across the origin. Remember when we went across a point, we had to grab a line. And I'll grab purple again. And we draw our line through our point. We need to go the exact same distance. So again, I'm going to come down 1, 2, 3, 4, forward 1, 2. So down, let's try and get to my green point here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, down 4, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, down 2. And that puts me on that one. If I grab another line and go through that point, to get from one point to the next, I needed to go down 1, oops, got that point, down 1, forward 2, so down 1, forward 2 should put me on that same line. And if I do one more, go from the W out this way. And if W went down 1, forward 1, I'm going to go down 1, forward 1. It'd be helpful if I drew my line so it actually went through it. And there are my images. So I drew all the points, had to go through my reflection point. And then I can draw my image back on there. And again, I'll grab blue. So I can just connect these back up. And there is my image of my triangle flipped through the origin, reflected through the origin. So you just draw lines straight through there, and then I just count my slopes. It's easier that way. If I count down and over to get to the origin, then I count down and over again. I know I'm on the same line. So what had happened to my points? Let's look at that. So the point -2, 4 became the point, this green one became 2, -4. So -4. And the point -2, 1 became the point, so this blue one became 2, -1. And my last point, 1, 1, oops, 1, 1, became the point, and this is -1, -1. So hopefully you see that all the signs just changed. The numbers stayed in the same spot, but the signs changed. This -2 became a +2. This +4 became a -4. So there are patterns for all of these. Sometimes it's easy to remember the patterns. For some people, it's easy just to go through the logic with it. So I've got one more. I want to go through the point 1, 2. And this isn't one you'd memorize the pattern. You need to actually see the logic here. So let me grab the same thing that I was doing before. I'll just grab a purple here. And I'm going to take this point through that point out the other side. Okay. So again, I should stay the same slope as long as I'm on the same point. So if I grab Y and I go down 1, come on Y, grab Y, down 1, 2, forward 1, 2, 3, go down 1, 2, forward 1, 2, 3. There is my reflection across that point. Grab this blue point and go through that line, through that point. So my blue point, V, is going to be up 1, forward 1, 2, 3, up 1, forward 1, 2, 3. You can see how it's more accurate if you count your slopes than if you just draw these lines. Okay, and then if I grab my last one, this point W, and point W, if I go up 1, I would just go up 1. Okay, and let's draw that triangle in. So my image went green and blue, and there's the reflection of the red one through the point 1, 2. So sometimes you have to draw lines in order to get to the other side. Sometimes you can memorize a pattern. These all definitely have patterns to them. When you just do a random point, you probably want to draw your lines to make sure you get it right. So here is a chart if you're one of those ones that likes to memorize the patterns and what the formulas are. Your point xy across the x-axis becomes x negative y. Your point xy across the y-axis becomes negative xy. Your point xy across the y equals x line becomes yx. And your point xy across the origin becomes negative x, negative y.